The question, how to exist in Babylon and still remain free, is the art of storing up your riches in heaven, not submitting to the powers that be if it's out of line with the character of God. How to exist in Babylon and still remain free. Freedom and boundaries are not opposites. Boundaries actually help facilitate freedom. If we didn't have boundaries, we would just have corruption. When I think of Babylon, it is a system of structures that seek to press you down. You're in a land that feels like it's your exile, away from home. The grind is rewarded, striving is rewarded, and rest is despised. And the work you might do seems like it's a contribution, but a contribution that is only gonna perhaps exist for the time that you're in that job, on that role, and it's not as secure or as long-lasting as you think your work, your contribution that you're doing. It reminds me of this verse that talks about storing up your riches in heaven, because if you store it up on the earth, it will be eaten by moths, and that's the way that I'm seeing it. So the question, how to exist in Babylon and still remain free, is the art of storing up your riches in heaven, not submitting to the powers that be if it's out of line with the character of God, of love, of peace, of hope, of true unity, of multiplicity, of growth. If the place that you live is out of line with that, and one that serves the god of money, which is Mammon, if we submit to that authority, we are in essence losing parts of ourselves, of what makes us human. And I believe that God has breathed on each human. He's designed them in a certain way. He wants us to thrive in that. So it is important that we search for fulfilling this God-given design, since he said that he made us in his image and with his likeness. But often we're seduced by the material and what fades away instead of what stays the same, what is found in the unseen. When I was looking at this practically, how to stay free in Babylon, I was reading Jeremiah 29, the first couple of verses, where there's the Israelites, who are people who were oppressed at the time. They were living under harsh Babylonian rule, and God told them to plant gardens, to build houses, to make families, to do all these things, to basically increase and not decrease. God calls us to seek the well-being of Babylon, to seek the well-being of the place that we're in exile. God calls us to seek the well-being of the place that we're in exile. It's like the way of the inside coming out and diffusing and spreading. There is a call to come out of Babylon, to come out of her ways and her practices, and to take her out of your spiritual DNA. And that way is through Jesus. That way is through love. And that way is one that it's fruitful and will never fall down. And I think that's the same call that he's given us now and for today. It's ever true. So take up space. Cultivate, don't be timid, and be bold. Continue to increase in good works, in love. Continue to build. God bless.